Hello and welcome to the Getting Started metaSort video. With metaSort, we are able to organize and manage thousands of images. In this video, I will show you how to install, where to find metaSort, and what the first steps are in your journey to organize and get a grip of all your thousands and 10,000s of images. Let's dive right into it. I'll switch the screen. metaSort is a Windows application right now. We're planning to offer it for other platforms like Apple. However, let's start with the Windows version. You can get metaSort from the Microsoft Store. So you will just run and bring up your Microsoft Store, log in with your Microsoft account, and then you would just type in metaSort as a search term. And the first hit is metaSort, as you can see here. Then you just go there, choose the install option, and we are going to install metaSort on our hard drive. This will take a couple of seconds, and depending on your download speed, maybe even minutes. It's quite a large package because we also add our own local AI systems that allows you to do all these kind of amazing stuff. As you can see, 2.26 gigabytes in compressed format. That means there is a lot of stuff going on. So now that we have downloaded all the data, we can just click the Open button and it will start our application. Now that our application is up and running, we have to specify where we want to store our important data. The first thing is, where is the destination for the database? So for the database, we'll just choose this folder. And the second one is where is our server? And let's say we choose or select the same folder up here. So there we store our information and data. Once we've done this, we press the OK button and we are inside of metaSort. Now what happens is it starts installing extra packages. That means we are installing some presets, database folders, some images or pictures so you can try it out right away without doing anything. You can just download and do your first test runs with it. The important part is it is now installing the server, and after this is done, we are ready to roll and work with metaSort. Server is starting up right now. Let me just bring over the server. It's an extra window, so you usually don't close that when your application is up and running. Anytime if you accidentally close it, you can just play the button, press the play button, and it will start it again automatically. Don't close this window as long as your session of metaSort is active, while it is setting up everything for you, including AI and so on. Now that we have everything running here, we can move that aside. We can shrink it down or do whatever you want to usually do. So now let's have a look what we got presented with. Let me open all these fields here, or all these sections, and we can see we have our database section, we have our album and our file manager. Those are the most important parts. And in the demo version, keep in mind when you're just trying out, the demo version is restricted to 500 pictures or 500 images. You can't have more. Keep that in mind. Also, exporting is also restricted. You can't export that many sample images. So you need to get the full version if you like what you see. So let's have a look at the sample database. So I clicked on the sample database, and what we did is we already prepared the database. I just clicked a random picture here, and we already added the object tags. So we see building, sign, window, door, awning. The AI automatically caught all the important stuff here. And it also gives you some hints for image quality, how sharpness of the image, and the saturation it thinks the image has. And it even deciphers the text or any text in your images or pictures. So we can have that. and it gives you the description, and we can search for all of these things. We can have, for example, we can find all cats in our selection, and we get all the cats we have here. We can find cars, probably everything the AI found, or just car. Yeah, here we go. Here we have our car. You can try out how this application works for you. Let's move on to the next section, the albums. The album allows you, and again, you can have as many albums as you want. The album allows you to sort your images, create display filters, create collages. Let me just, when you open this collage menu section, here's this little important button that will bring you to a collage selection. So I'll just do a simple collage like this one, where we just say, okay, I want to create a collage from this. Important thing, everything is right click. In our metaSort application, everything is triggered by a right click mouse button. So when I right click, I get this menu option, and it added to my collages this new one. And now I can just, let me just drag and drop pictures in here, and then we can move these pictures like so, and we can also scale pictures up and down. We can zoom in, move our pictures like so, something like that. And we can just add some more pictures we want to have in here. And this is practically how you create your collage. And then keep in mind, these are just preview pictures. Let me just add this and this. So these are just preview pictures we have here. If you want to see the full high quality collage, you just press the button here. Funnily, it's also called preview, but this will now take the high resolution pictures and show you the collage, how you could save it out and send it to a printer and do a nice poster of it. Okay, here we go. We have our collage. And as you can see, now we have the high resolution pictures in here. So this is how we can easily create our own collage. So now that was the collage, and let's do some image filters. We can add a filter category. We can have the default image or image base. Let's just have the image category. So we have all images. When we click this image filter, we get all the images. And we have a filter for raw images, which we don't have right now. Okay, let me just show you quick how we can create our own search filters. You just right click again on the image base we have here. You just right click here, add a tag search, and there we can have a new search. Let me just show you how this works. I'll right click, edit filter, we give it a name. So let's say we name it cats, and then our search term is just cat. We can preview, yes, it's working, and there we go. We have our own cat. If we wanted to have our own category, so we could have our own extra category where we have, for example, default images, then it will add automatically categories like animals, birds, cats, and so on, Christmas trees, city. Let's see if we have a bus. We have no bus, traffic, and so on. But we have vehicles. That's okay. So you get automatically all this. And again, you can look into every little filter with edit filter and see, okay, and that's the search term. And it shows you the flowers. This is really powerful and easy to maintain. And that's how you can organize your images in a really amazing way and very efficiently. Let's go back to our main view. Let's have a look at the file manager. The file manager is very powerful. It lets you organize your files. It lets you modify your files or write them out in different formats. It lets you do all kinds of stuff. Same deal here. We can have search filters. We can add a tag search filter. Right now we have all images. But if we wanted, we could just do our cat search filter and just get the cats, for example. We could add, just to be proper, we could rename that by just double clicking, and say all images. That will show us all images at all times. And now we have all images here. So now I can decide I only want to work on these images or I want to work on these images. However, we can have a different way. We can use these display filters to select our images, but we can also just click and drag and select our images here. Then we can just choose if we want to work on all images or on the marked images. Let me just show you how this works. Let's go here. What we want to do is we want to convert those images we have selected. For example, we want to resize them. We want to change the size of these images. We can type in whatever resolution we want, say 2048 or whatever, 1280, whatever we want. We can define the file type, the file extension, JPEG, PNG, WebP, and keep in mind our new version, depending on whenever you watch this video, we probably have a new version out there with much more file types. I can already tell you we added JXL as file type and AVIF as file type as well. Then you can define the compression quality, and then we have several options to modify the images you write out. We could, for example, add an automatic watermark. Let's say we want it top left, and there we can see our watermark. Now it's very faint, so we just click, drag up, and you can see we have now our watermark here. And the color, we might want to change the color to something darker here, and that's it. So now we have our watermark here, and we can name it whatever we want. My pictures. Probably want a smaller watermark. Let's go here, 25, something like that, 30. And then we can just define where we want these watermarks to appear. Let me just reduce the outline. And then, as I mentioned, we can have a different opacity value so that it's not that offensive or strong. And then we can also add some random offset, rotation, and so on. If we want to have tiling, for example, we can have it like that. We can even add a distort factor so that AI can't remove that. All kinds of options. Try it out. You can create really amazing things with it. And in one go, all our images, when we export them, will have the watermark. There's more options, but I don't want to go too deep into these options right now. So I will go on and show you how can you get your own pictures or images into a freshly installed metaSort. What we need to do is, as usual, right-click up here, choose the Add Database. So let me just add a new database where we just pick a path. I'll choose the Cocoa Public. That's where my pictures are. Already can add a search filter where we say, okay, we want only raw images, vector and stuff. We just say scan filter is our image filter, and we give it a name, Cocoa Public Database. So that's what we want, Cocoa Public Database. Then I press the OK button and it creates a new database for us. And by the way, the full version will allow you to have unlimited databases. So you can organize however you want, as many databases as you want. How do we add now our pictures to this new database we just created? As you can see, we already added all the file formats. You can try adding some other file formats as well with newer versions of metaSort. The first step would be just to get in your pictures and images. We would just go and see, we defined when we created the database already our search path or scan path. It will look now into the Cocoa Public folder. Now we want to get all the new images in, so we just say either update all, or we just choose synchronize. That will give us always, if something changes in the folder, it will automatically catch that and tell you, oh, one image was deleted, one image was updated, and you can decide if you want to incorporate these or not. So it tells me it has 11,821 pictures. So I just say, okay, good, go ahead. And it will now start importing the images here. For the 11,000 pictures, it suggests it will take 1 minute and 45 seconds. Now that we have processed all the 11,000 images, we can continue adding more and more details or data to our images. Right now, we got them all in. We have their meta tags. We have their image file format and all these important stuff. But we can add more information that makes it really powerful. And keep in mind, everything is locally running on your own hardware. Nothing is sent out to the internet. All the AI functions you will ever see or get, we will never send out data. It will run on your own hardware, own device. And that also means you need to have fast NVIDIA card or AMD card. And yes, we also have a fallback to CPU, but that's slow. So keep in mind, if you want to go and use all the advanced AI functions, you need a decent NVIDIA graphics card. So let me just show one example here. As I mentioned, we have now all the 11,000 pictures in here. So a lot of pictures and data in here. So what we are going to do now is, let me just pick that as an example. So when I go to information, we get the standard information, name, file, if it is a camera, which lens, and all this information that is actually available in the file itself. When we go to this little pen tool, that is the important part. It allows us to create tags on our own, and it also allows us to automatically create tags and descriptions of the pictures where we can use to search for those later. Let's see how this works. Depending on your graphics card, as I already mentioned, this might take a few seconds up to a couple of minutes. And if you have a slow CPU, it can take up to 10 minutes, depending on what hardware you have. We are going to fill in a description and object tags automatically. I use these AI description, as we can see here. And I'll go with the simple version right now. And let me just press the generate button. What it happens when you do this the first time, it will download the AI model from the internet. That's the only step we need. We need to grab the latest AI model and download it to your hardware. Once it is downloaded, it just works instantly and gives you, depending on your hardware, the results. As we can see up here, we now have object tags, airplane, truck, stairs. We can search for all these object tags. And we even get number of humans, so we can search all pictures that have more than 3 humans. And we get a description, which we can also search. We can search for airplane, SAS, a logo, red truck, whatever we want, tarmac. We can search for all these keywords in here if we wanted to. Now let me just show you how the detailed description looks like. Let's generate that again. It's now generating a detailed description, so it will look for everything it can see and decipher in that picture. As I mentioned, depending on your hardware, this might take a few seconds. And there we go. The image shows a white SAS Boeing 737 airplane. So it even guessed the airplane type. And the sky is overcast, so you get all these details. We have one more option that's even more detailed. And here we go. There we have it. A much more detailed description of the image. And we get the same object tags. Now that we have that, you can run this on a single image or on all your 11,000 images we have here. And that's exactly what we did here with this database. I already ran all the AI. It took a couple of hours. But once you have it there, it's really powerful. We could, for example, search for airplanes. Airplane. I'll do the singular and the plural just in case that there's multiple airplanes in a picture. And there we go. All pictures with airplanes or even people inside of airplanes. So the AI is very good we offer here. And it allows you to find your pictures really fast and efficient. So now you have, out of these 11,000, only pictures 272 with airplanes. We could do the same thing with the keyword tarmac. So wherever we see actual a strip where airplanes land, we get these pictures. Same thing, beach. If we have some pictures with the beach, yes, we have pictures with the beach. And we can just go in here and we can create now our album. Remember, the album allows us to do all kinds of things, including collage and other stuff, organize our pictures. So I'll pick our Coco public database and we can add a default image or the image base. We can do that. Let's name it Coco database. And I'll just press the OK button. Takes a few seconds, then we have our new album active here. And here we go. Here's our album database. Now we can click on that, left click, single left click, and we have all our 11,000 pictures or images in here. Now what we could do is add our category filter where we say default image filters, and then we get our default image filters. It will go through your whole database and will try to find everything that is in there. And we can see it's a rich data set because, as I mentioned, I ran on all 11,000 our AI. And now we can just click here. We get all images with birds in it. So wherever there's a bird or something that looks like a bird, we get these pictures. Same with cat. Same like before, every pictures where we can have a cat somewhere sitting on a car or hiding. Let's see if we can find something in the Christmas category. Christmas trees, we have some Christmas trees here. We can go pictures where a bottle is in there, where we can see a bottle. Pictures where people are drinking or where you drink or a drink is visible, eating, and so on. So very powerful. And as you build up your database, you can also correct things when they are wrong. Just see if we can find some mushrooms and fungi. Okay, that worked good. And let's see here. So I don't see, yes, here we go. There is our mushroom. So it's pretty good. This is how you can work with your album and database. And as I mentioned before, you can create collage of pictures and images. And with the file manager, same deal. If we wanted to save out pictures in different formats, shrink them, add a watermark, same deal. Right click up here on the file manager section here. Add new manager, you choose, okay, I want a file manager for this database, which is a very powerful feature. And I'll name it the same database so that I know which one we are getting a file manager. Same deal, I can click in here in this database and we can just add very simple filters where we get all the pictures. Oh, I think I messed up. Let me just fix that. I messed up. Let's show how we can fix that. I chose the sample database, which was by accident. Let me just right click again. So I right clicked and removed the wrong set and I'll do the Coco public. That's the one I wanted with all the 11,000 pictures. And there we go. We have our Coco database file manager with 11,000 pictures and we can add another text search. Just add one more where we just say, for example, celebrity, and we edit the filter and just say Biden. Let's see if we get Biden. Here's Biden, Sylvester Stallone, and here we have our celebrity, Sylvester Stallone. So it's that simple. And then we could just go in here, as I showed you before, turn on the image convert, set a resolution, file format, and then export it and do modifications. We could also do some modifications on the pictures, but more of that in the next video. So that's our getting started video for metaSort. Let me just summarize. Go to the Microsoft Store, download the application, decide where you want to store it. You need some hard disk space, obviously. Then create your first database. Play around if you're just trying out. Play around with the sample database. Add your own pictures. Right now you can have in the free version 500 pictures and really try out everything we have here. Just to mention the one so that we have everything complete. The daily shoot, it's similar. You can add a new daily shoot where you want to add pictures when you go out in the field and create new pictures or images. Coco shoot, and that's the same deal. Practically what you have here is you have a separate space where you can add your pictures and images you took recently, and then you can transfer them over to the Coco public database or any database you want. So let's wrap it up. That's our first getting started video. I hope you liked the video. Please leave a subscribe and like, and check out our other videos as well. Thank you so much.